Today we're diving into some of my favorite web design tips and tricks that can really take your website to the next level. Whether you're a beginner just starting out or a seasoned designer looking to refine your skills, these tips will help you create websites that are not only beautiful but also functional and user-friendly. So, grab your notebook and let's get started. All right, let's kick things off with something that's absolutely crucial in today's world: mobile-first design. Did you know that over half of all web traffic comes from mobile devices? That means if your website isn't optimized for mobile, you're potentially losing a huge chunk of your audience. The mobile-first approach isn't just about making sure your site looks good on smaller screens. It's about designing with mobile users in mind from the very start. When you design for mobile first, you're forced to prioritize the most important content and functionality, stripping away anything unnecessary. This results in a cleaner, more focused design that's easy to navigate on any device. Once your mobile design is solid, you can then scale it up for larger screens, ensuring that your site looks and works great everywhere. Remember, simplicity and clarity are your best friends when designing for mobile. Next up, let's talk about branding. Consistent branding across your website is key to building trust and recognition with your audience. Think of your website as an extension of your brand's identity. The colors, fonts, and imagery you use should all align with your brand's overall style and messaging. This consistency helps create a cohesive experience for your visitors and reinforces your brand's presence in their minds. When choosing your color palette, stick to a limited set of colors that match your brand's identity. The same goes for typography. Select one or two fonts that are easy to read and reflect your brand's personality. And don't forget about your logo. It should be prominently placed, typically in the header, and linked back to your homepage. By maintaining a consistent look and feel throughout your site, you'll create a professional and trustworthy image that resonates with your audience. Now, let's get into something that's often overlooked but incredibly important: website speed and performance. We've all been there, waiting for a slow website to load, and if it takes too long, we just hit the back button, right? In fact, studies show that if a website takes more than a few seconds to load, users are likely to abandon it altogether. So how do you keep your site fast and responsive? Start by optimizing your images. Large, uncompressed images are one of the biggest culprits behind slow loading times. Use tools like TinyPNG or Image Optim to compress your images without sacrificing quality. Next, minimize the use of heavy scripts and plugins. Only include what's absolutely necessary. You should also leverage browser caching and content delivery networks, CDNs, to speed up your site for users around the globe. By paying attention to these details, you'll provide a smoother experience for your visitors, which can lead to higher engagement and better search engine rankings. Let's move on to user experience, or UX. A beautifully designed website is great, but if it's hard to use, visitors won't stick around. Good UX design is all about making your website intuitive and easy to navigate. Start by putting yourself in your user's shoes. What's the primary goal of your website? Is it to provide information, sell products, or maybe get users to sign up for a newsletter? Whatever it is, make sure that goal is front and center, with a clear call to action that guides users to take the next step. Navigation is another critical aspect of UX. Your menu should be simple and organized, with logical categories that make it easy for users to find what they're looking for. And don't forget about accessibility. Ensure your site is navigable with keyboard shortcuts and that it meets accessibility standards for users with disabilities. Remember, the easier your site is to use, the more likely visitors are to stay, explore, and convert. Last but not least, let's talk about visual hierarchy. This is all about arranging your content in a way that guides the user's eye to the most important elements first. A strong visual hierarchy helps users quickly understand what your site is about and where they should focus their attention. Start by using size, color, and contrast to create a hierarchy. For example, your headlines should be larger and more prominent than your body text, making them stand out as key information. You can also use contrasting colors to highlight buttons or calls to action, drawing the user's eye to where you want them to click. White space is another powerful tool. It gives your content room to breathe and helps prevent your design from feeling cluttered. By carefully crafting your visual hierarchy, you'll make your website more engaging and easier to navigate. And there you have it, 5 essential web design tips and tricks to help you create stunning, user-friendly websites. Remember, start with a mobile-first approach. Keep your branding consistent, optimize for speed, focus on user experience, and use visual hierarchy to guide your user's journey. By applying these tips, you'll be well on your way to designing websites that not only look great, but also perform exceptionally well. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more web design and development content. And if you have any tips of your own, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what's working for you. Thanks for watching and happy designing!